Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you are doing good with your work and with your study online. Okay, so please welcome to my next slide video presentation. And this slide video presentation, I'm going to introduce you about literature review. Okay, so here we go. Alright, at the end of this slide video presentation, all of you are expected to define the key term literature review, identify the purposes of doing literature, and also you have to find out the sources of doing literature. Okay, so now go one by one. Alright, I give you several seconds to discuss with yourself or with your classmate. What is literature review? Second one, why do we review literatures in research? And the next one is, what are the sources of literature review? Okay, I can give you several seconds. Okay, so what is literature review? Who can answer that? Alright, so literature review is the most significant steps in doing a research. When you conduct a research, you have to understand about how to collect the data. In order to collect the data, you can look at your source, literature review. So literature review can guideline or outline the researcher about how to conduct a research, to conduct a research question, and also to conduct a research objective. Otherwise, here is the significant steps in the research process. Okay, and the next, it is very important that you are given some idea or some perspective of what is already known about the particular situation or about particular areas of the study. For example, when you are working in education field, so some journal or some books were published or were written with the experts or researchers or education experts, and also you can read and you also can gain some idea or some process of that. In conclusion, you can come up to the final decision. How can you conduct a research topic and also a research question? Okay, so next, it is kinds of evaluation. Okay, so why is a kinds of evaluation? Because you get information or data found in the literature which is relevant to the selected areas of the study. Okay, if your study is about environment, so you have to select the journal or book about that. If your study is about the rural development or rural education development, you have to find out the journals or books or the other source which are relevant to that. Okay, so here is a kinds of evaluative reports of information. Okay, now what are the purposes of literature review? Okay, who can answer that? All right, so look at the here are the purposes of doing literature. The first one is literature reports the researchers about the other researchers. Okay, it is not a new research itself until you conduct, until you collect the data and interpret the data, and then you have to write up for your research paper. Here it is called a new research. But literature review, you just work with the the previous researcher perspective, researcher's topic, which is relevant to your selected areas of the study. Okay, and also literature review provides or give you a background of the study for your new research. Okay, if you conduct a new research without reading or without looking at the literature review or previous journal or previous publication, otherwise you cannot come up with the new perspective of the research, a previous researcher's perspective, and then with yours. Okay. And also, it is also provides connections on which to hang a new research. So from previous research perspective and your new research perspective, to check whether is it connected or is it parallel or is it irrelevant, so on. All right. And also it can link a new research to what has preceded it. Okay. Next, you also can identify effective practice that the new researchers have to think about the previous research and then find out a new gap that from the previous researchers have known, and now you just start to conduct a new research in order to fulfill the lack of the previous research. Okay. And also justify the need to conduct a new research. If you don't read the literature, so you cannot find any gaps that you can design your new study or areas of study. Okay. So that literature review is important. My suggestion is that before you write down a research topic or research objective, research question, so on. So you have to at least read a journal, 10 or 15 or 20 journals, and also book the other materials in order to generate the ideas. Okay, if you don't, I think you cannot you cannot scope your scale of the research. It sounds like too broad or too narrow and too complicated to design the questionnaire or to design the data collection tools. Okay. All right. So go on with this. It also provides bibliography, the reference. Okay, the reference is very important. Okay, in the research, if you don't provide or if you don't credit to the previous researcher or the researchers, so that's why you copy perspective from the other research. So your paper is treated as the plagiarism. Okay. And another one is seeks to do one or more of the following, like you have to describe something, or you have to summarize, you have to interpret, you have to synthesize, evaluate, clarify, extend, or integrate the other research together. That you combine the other author, the other writer's perspective together if they have the same or similar selected areas of study. Okay. Next, it also gives you clarity and also main focus to your research problem. Okay, it can guide you for further clarity or focus. For example, when you conduct a research about teaching vocabulary, so you have to read the journal or any book that the authors written down or published about the teaching vocabulary. So otherwise, you can see some important point in that journals or in that books. Okay. And also, after gaining all the information or the idea from the previous researchers, you can improve your new research methodology. How can you choose your research design? You can design, is it about the qualitative research or quantitative research, or you combine both together, or we can say semi-research methodology. Okay. Why is it important to improve your methodology? When you read, you know about that, so you can design your new research is about qualitative research. Qualitative research bring you how to collect the data by using observation, interviewing, so on, right? So So, however, if you use the quantitative research, so data collection method should be or must be a questionnaire. Okay, questionnaire. Okay, all right. The most important, the literature review gives the reader or the new researcher is broaden your knowledge or give you more knowledge based on the research area or topic. If your main focus about education, teaching vocabulary, so you read at least 10 or 15 or 20 research journal about education, teaching vocabulary. So you know more and more, right? Next, okay, so you have to remember that literature's review enable you or the new researcher to achieve a number of more specific objective. It sounds like, for example, the early stage of your research, you may have only, unclear idea or unclear perspective of your selecting areas of the study. So otherwise, you have to explore more fully about the literature review, which is relevant to your new study. Okay. Furthermore, literature review also help you to really focus on your tentative problems, okay, by defining or identifying more clearly about your topic area which you are interested in, okay. And also doing much literature review around your study will help you or will assist you to identify the issue clearly that you want to concentrate upon, and also can make you clear, or can leave you with a concise, detailed, and distinct plan of the action. Okay, that very important with this. Next, this is the several definitions of literature review. So literature review can define as a list, a search, a survey, a knowledge enhancer, a supporting, directing tool, and a report. Okay, now go one more. What is the a list of the literature review? Okay, a list or collection of description and the keywords from journal, article, books, a newspaper, etc. that represent available literature on the research topic. For example, a list or collection of description and the keywords in the journal. Suppose that you are going to conduct a new research about how to teach grammar inductively. Okay, so the keyword in the topic is about grammar, right? About inductively, right? Teaching grammar inductively. That's a list of a key term or keywords that you can go to the browser, any browser or Google browser, that you can type the keyword how to teach grammar inductively or so on. So you can find a list of that, okay, a list of that. And then the act of the searching, search, right? A act of the searching for and identifying information which is relevant to your research topic. Okay, that you search. Okay. Why is it survey? A survey or a scan of past, present, and possible, future writing or research related to a research topic. It can, it kinds of a survey that you can, illustrate, or you can mirror from the past to present and to the future. Next, it is a mean by which a researcher can increase his or her knowledge of a particular research topic and test his or her own thoughts. Okay, that is we call the knowledge enhancer, right? The more you read, the more you know, right? Next, in a kinds of instrument capable of supporting, influencing, directing, shaping, or changing the research to be undertaken. Okay. These kinds of instrument that can give you more or further information for making decision. Okay, is a kind of a report in its own right, or a discrete section of the larger report, in which the researcher frames and thematically organize literatures. Um, Honestly, the researcher or the new researcher, Jules and I, have to, before you read the literature review, you have to divide themes. You know theme? ពាក្យថា theme ហ្នឹងគេចង់និយាយពីថាចំណងជើងរងអត្ថន័យខ្លឹមសាររងនៅក្នុង literature ហ្នឹងយើងចង់ធ្វើអីឧបមាថា teaching grammar inductively អញ្ចឹងយើងចាប់ sim វាមានន័យថា sim ថា grammar inductively in context ឬក៏ grammar inductive ឬក៏ grammar in the classroom យើងចាប់ sim វាយ៉ាងមួយដើម្បីយើងងាយរក literature review អូខេចឹងយើងត្រូវ organize theme វាហ្នឹងណាបាទ organize theme វាបាទចាំនៅ slide ក្រោយវីដេអូក្រោយខ្ញុំនឹងលើកយកចំណុច theme ដែលយើងរៀនចាប់ theme ហ្នឹងចាប់មិនណា Okay, so next. Okay, that is a sources the researcher have to cannot miss it. Okay, so source books, journal, newspaper, government publication, conference presentation, website, so on. Okay, that can the sources that can help you to find information. Okay, so I think that's all for my slide video presentation today, and thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for studying hard. And so this is from the references, you know, Wilkinson and Dilady. Okay, all right. So hope you join this slide video presentation, and if you have any question, please text me or drop the question in the group. And I'm so glad and so happy to answer and to give you more explanation on that. I don't think you understand all the point, right? And furthermore, you have to copy YouTube links in the course syllabus that I give you for the further understanding about the literature review. Okay, thank you. Good luck. Bye bye.